Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Tech Woke Podcast. My name is Chris. I am the host. And on this podcast, we talk about cybersecurity, career, and life. And in this podcast, we're going to break down how to get into GRC with no experience. And the reason why I know how to do this is because I got into GRC with no experience myself. Actually, I bypassed the help desk and go straight into GRC in the government technology space. And I'm going to break down how you do it. So I'm going to share my screen. So now sharing my screen. So we're going to break down some steps I created on how to get into GRC with no experience at all. And maybe even having not even a non-technical background. So we're going to go from how I did it. So here are the steps that I did. So we're going to go to the first step. The first step is do research on the position. So when you do research on the position, there's many ways you can do it. You can, the way I did it is I went on Indeed. So we're going to go on Indeed right now. I'm going to just type in GRC. I'm going to type in probably Washington, D.C. because it's a hotbed for technology right now. And we're going to look at the positions and see what they call them. So I typed in GRC in the D.C. area. They call it cyber analyst. So we're going to look at some things that they're asking for. We're going to see what the salary is. The pay for is 110 to 125,000. It's a full-time position, 8 hours, day shift. Just show you, see some of the benefits, 401k matching, continue education credits, things like that. So we're looking at it now. So we're going to look at the description of the role. So this is a government GovTech position. I work in a GovTech, so I kind of get what they're talking about. So they just tell you what they do: support the program, engage with federal contractors. We're going to see. Okay, see, it says something: continuous monitoring, support continuous monitoring, efforts like POEM management. So we're going to put all this stuff down. We're going to take continuous monitoring, POEM management, and we're going to just make sure we note this if we're a non-technical person trying to get into cybersecurity. So I'm going to create a little section called skills needed. So I'm going to put these down for this position because I might need it. So I'm going to look up what continuous monitoring is, POEM management. That's things I need to know about the position. Some of the skills you might need: monthly privileged users account reviews, reviewing monthly continuous monitoring reports, update risk assessment, conduct security control assessment. I'm going to look this up. I'm going to keep this in my notes of things we might need to know for the position. We're going to keep an eye out, work closely with other team members, assist. So soft skills, just talking to people, develop understanding of customer policies, active participate in customer internal meetings, soft skills, things like that. Okay, here comes some of the required qualifications they need. So you need a bachelor's degree for this position or a total of 9 years of experience. Most people don't have 9 years experience, so you're going to probably need a bachelor's degree for the position. So I'm just going to just note it. So you need a bachelor's degree. So for the positions, they require at least 5 years of experience. So you got to understand what FISMA risk management is, NIST guidelines, revision 5. So some other things that you might want to get for this position to become and get into GRC. So we're going to note all this stuff right here. Ability to multitask, soft skills, things like that. Public trust clearance. So probably gonna need a clearance for this position if you don't get sponsored. And experience with SASM or any GRC tools, which we don't have because we're non-technical for this position. We're gonna look at a couple other job listings: 401k, ISO, engage with the federal. Because these are all GovTech space. So it's like the same thing. NIST guidelines. Things like that. Some of the things is looking for. We're gonna look at this one right here. Information system here, same as GRC. You know, coverage risks. Yep. So we're gonna keep looking at it. And then see, we're gonna keep looking and it's asking me. So they're starting to ask for the same thing, security plus. So you're probably gonna need a security plus because that's the best entry level. And GRC is government risk compliance for anybody, just so they can know. So ISO is the same thing. You're doing the same thing in that position. So you're gonna need like a security plus, the ability to work independently, soft skills. And we're gonna just look at two more just to make sure we kind of in our ducks in a row. So they're asking for more stuff. This is STIG, SCAP tools, EMAS, ACAS. So the same thing, some of the skills needed. So they keep repeating themselves. So for people that's listening, I'm an ISO too. I've been working in a position for 4 years. So a lot of this stuff that I'm noting down is things that you need for the position. So I know what I'm talking about on this part, but you just got to know. And this is what I did when I was looking for the position. So you got to note these things down. Okay, so we're doing our research. We're going to pretend we're a project manager. We already have the soft skills, managing people, doing things like that, trying to get into cybersecurity, GRC, because it closely relates to the field. So we're seeing all these positions, and we got the soft skills, and we're going to assume we already have all the soft skills. So we just need some of these technical skills. So we're just going to continue to do research. So with research too, so we looked at the position on Indeed. For the people listening, you can also talk to friends that might be in the same field as you. So what you can do is just talk to friends and just ask them about the position, things they might need to look out for the position. So another thing people you should do is go on LinkedIn, waiting for it to load, and then also just type in GRC, see who pops up. So you see all these good people in the area where I live at popping up, and never know. Just reach out to these people and talk to them about how to get into GRC, and just let them know you've been doing your research too. Because if you tell them you've been doing your research and you talk to your friends, you just need some more confirmation on how to get into GRC. So we're just in the research phase. So the main thing is just do your research, and we're on step one. So we did our research. We're a project manager. We're trying to get into the GRC field. We did our research. These are all the skills needed: continuous monitoring, poems, control assessments. Probably need a bachelor's degree. Learn about FISMA, risk management framework. Look at the NIST guidelines, which is the framework for it. And then you might need to look what STIGs are, SCAP tools, EMAS, ACAS, and you might need to get a security plus for this position. So this is what we got. So we did our research. Now we got to start learning the skills. So some of the skills that you might need to look up is plan of action. So a POAM is a plan of action management. So a plan of action is basically when you have a vulnerability that can't be fixed currently. So you're creating a plan on how to fix and create how to create a POAM for a later time so the team can fix it. Sometimes like a vulnerability won't be present. I mean, a patch for a vulnerability won't be present until like 4 months from now. So you need to create a plan of action so you have something in place. So you just won't forget about it and know that it's going to get fixed and something to stay on it and so you can make sure you do it. So POAM, you can practice creating one. For my channel specifically, you can go on Tech Woke Podcast, go on YouTube. I created a video on how to create a POAM, just a very basic POAM. And then also, so here, I'm going to scroll down and we're going to look for plan of action milestone. So we're going to try to find this video we made. Okay, you want to type in Tech Woke plan of action. So in this video right here, I created a video on how to create a POAM. So we're going to start getting the skills from scratch. Soft skills, action, and milestone. And if this video is not good enough, what we're going to do is there's plenty of other videos that teach you how to create a plan of action and milestone. So what we're going to do is there's so many videos: how to create a POAM, how to create a plan of action, There's so many walkthroughs and videos. So we're gonna just practice. Once you get this, get an Excel sheet and just practice creating poems as if you're actually working at a job. You may not be doing it for a living, but at least you'll know what the skill is. And when you talk to employers, you'll know. You can tell them I'm not experiencing it, but I know what it is. I practice it on my own, and you can get them a debrief on how do you do it from scratch. So that's a good thing to do. So next skill we need to learn how to do control assessments. You can read the NIST guidelines on how to, assess controls. But, if you want to learn how to assess controls, I didn't create a video on it, but we'll see what we put on YouTube. So there's plenty of videos. And like I was telling you, there's documentation, NIST guidelines, things that explains to you how to control assess. And you might not be an expert or you might not have no experience doing that, but at the same time, you can just get the knowledge. So for this position, from some of the jobs, you might need a bachelor's degree for this position. If you already got the experience, you can use the experience, but a lot of the positions I looked at require a bachelor's degree. You got to learn, you just Google what risk management is, start learning what it is, and just start reading the NIST guidelines. So I think this is the one it asks for, NIST guidelines, revision 5. So we're going to look this up. There's a documentation. So we're going to read the NIST guidelines. So we're going to go look it up just to show you anybody can find it. And it's going to be right here from NIST. I don't think this is the right one. Hold up. I'm going to type in NIST guidelines revision 5. It should pop up. See, so it just popped up and you can download it. And when you download it, you can just read it just to get the skill. You might not be experienced, but you can say you have the skill looking it up. And you can get this and get the knowledge and skills so you can speak of it. Okay, so a Security Plus is a must. For people that's non-technical, a Security Plus will help give you the terminology on how to get into cybersecurity. So I would recommend everybody getting the Security Plus because for me, as an ISO working in the GRC field, without the Security Plus, I would not know a lot of the terminology in cybersecurity. So I would recommend a lot of people just get your Security Plus so you can understand what the terminology is in the field. And it's majority a requirement for the position, especially in the GovTech space. It's requirement for the DoD. So they talk about STIGs. In my field, we do a lot of this STIGs. So you can find this on the website. You can download these STIGs. I actually have a video about them. It's going to be on cyber.mil. Okay, this is the site. Anybody can go on it. You go to the document library. You can go to the document library, explore this website actually, and download the SCAP tools, download STIG Viewer. You can download STIGs and start reviewing them. As again, you're getting the skills, and you can also document the skills while you're on LinkedIn so people can see that what you're doing to get the experience. So I would just start downloading the STIGs, get STIG Viewer. I have video on my channel on how to download STIGs and STIG Viewer. You go Tech Woke podcast on YouTube, STIG Viewer. And we got a couple videos here, and you can always download it. And you can download these skills. So we're getting the skills. Okay. So what else we looked up? We looked up SCAP. All this is going to be on cyber.mil website. And then EMAS. It asks for EMAS. So we're going to we have a free training. So you can go on my channel, YouTube, how to get access to the free EMAS training. So you check out my video. We're going to click this link below I have in my video. And let me see if I can find it. So I removed the link in here, but in the actual video, when we go over the video, it actually shows the exact site where you can log into EMAS. So I'll put it back on the video, but if you go to this video, you can get access to free EMAS training and practice with that. So we're getting the skills. So we got all the skills now. So we're working, we got our degree, we got our security plus, we've been practicing with poems, control assessment, reading the NIST guidelines, practicing with the SCAP tools. We have some EMAS training, so we were prepared to add this stuff. So this is where we're going. So the next thing I will recommend to people is updating your resume. And this is kind of my resume. So these are all the skills that I have: EMAS, STIGs, risk management, ability to read policies, procedures, RMF, NIST control experience with an ATO process and poems. I have my security plus, I have my master's degree, have a bachelor's degree, have experience, have a lot of experience coming from a project manager, but also the soft skills matter. If you're coming from a office work, things like that, soft skills matter. You can speak to that. Even managing people, documentation, all that transfer over. It's not just the technical skills. And as long as you're building up your resume with things that can help you with the position, you can kind of, I would add it to your resume, but just still speak to it because they're looking for that keywords. Because if you put it on your resume, they're going to ask about it. So if you're going to put on your resume, make sure you really study the material and keep going over it, like we just talked about in the last step. So, and then your resume is just said, look, you got your resume submitted. This is how my resume look at for an ISO position. It's in the GRC field in the GovTech space, so they call it that. So this is how my resume is looking. So it looks pretty good. So we got our resume. Now we're on the last step. We got to start preparing for an interview. So that's the hard part. So when preparing for an interview, it's not just preparing for the interview. You got to understand the company. So we're going to go to a company and I'm going to show you live how to do it. So you go in Indeed. We're just going to click I'm going to just say, what's this company called? Technology, something like that. So we're going to go to the website. The first step is go to the website. I'm going to study when you're preparing for an interview, you got to go to the website. Okay, here we go. So when you go on the website, you study what's going on, what they offer, who they are, about us. You read what it is, services, solutions, client and partners, jobs, things like that. And when you're doing that in this field and you're going to an interview, it helps you with looking good to the employer because they're going to ask you, why this company? What do we have to offer you? You already know the benefits, and you'll be like, it'll show them that you're highly interested in the position. So you go and start looking at the company. If you got your any of the recruiters' names, or if you got the person that's going to interview, go on LinkedIn, study him, learn about his career, what he's done in his field. Things like that help you for the job experience. And then we don't really know what they're going to ask you for the experience. I would just go on Google and just type in GRC interview questions. So I typed it on Google and this popped up. So we just practice through here. Just go through the questions and just see, just prior practicing with questions on this in this field. Just type it in. We're going to click another one. Even type it on YouTube. Even Reddit has some questions. There's plenty of information that's out here. You just got to know what to work. If you're going to get in this field, you got to make sure you're studying, and you got to make sure that you can find research, and do research, because a lot of positions they don't handhold you. So GRC interview questions, even on YouTube, there's plenty of people that's been in the field, and they'll answer a lot of these questions for you. So just click on any random video and just check it out, watch the video, and it'll show you how to get in the field. So, and this is all the steps that I did to help get my first position in cybersecurity into the GRC field. So that's what I did. So it's pretty much it. It's pretty much it with the video. If you enjoyed the podcast, please like, subscribe to the channel, comment down below, subscribe to all podcast platforms, subscribe to the newsletter. If you need one-on-one consulting, I'm currently doing it for free on my website, techworldconsulting.com. So check it out. I'm in the field, been in there for a while, so I know what's going on. Remember, everybody, just get 1% better every day. Peace out. I'll see you on the next one.